Do 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 do. There we go. It's funny because when you transition scenes in Streamlabs, like I had the camera off, so it turned off, and then I go to
Mhm.
this scene, and then it turns it on, so it's like black, and then like how it is like you're kind of under part of your videos underneath my videos. It's kind of funky.
Oh wow.
So now I will say, John, people in the stream may have saw I put a little cream in my coffee, just a little bit.
Oh, all right.
Uh,
I went
yeah,
iced coffee today.
I wish I had some. I was just talking to Gooseman earlier on Twitch, and we were going if we like what kind of coffee we like, and he's like, I only like cold brew, and I really like the Trader Joe's coconut cold
Hmm.
brew from
Oh.
concentrate stuff, very super good. But we were out of beans, and my new Yes Please is coming in, and Trader Joe's had like a single origin one from India, and $9. Like I always give it a try, but they only do medium, and their medium is pretty dark, so I got to put
Mhm.
some cream in it, but not even
Cool.
cream. I put some macadamia and almond cashew milk in it. So
Uh,
cream, milk, ugh, gross.
yeah. Well, we're talking about different kinds of nut milks.
Uh,
Lesson my daughter learned yesterday: vanilla flavored almond milk doesn't work well for making mac and cheese.
ooh,
It
no,
may sound good, but no, don't do that.
that sounds
So.
bad. You know what we do is we put a little bit of yogurt in the mac and cheese. A little bit of
Yeah.
Greek yogurt, very very good. I recommend that. Uh Also, did you see on Twitter? I'm showing it to everybody, and everyone knows already there. Did you see my new Game Boy?
No. Well, look at you.
So it's on my Twitter sphere, but I was just telling Joseph this, but like a year and a half ago, I got this Game Boy, and it was all scratched up. It was used. So I
Mhm.
went on, I think it was on Amazon or another third party site, and I got a new case for it, new glass screen case, everything. Took it
Yep.
apart, put it together, bingo bango. Now it's like new. The problem with the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance directly after that, but before the SP, was that there was no backlit screen, so very hard to see.
Yeah.
But Frank Kruger and I, on Sunday, put a backlit screen into the Game Boy Color.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then if you hold down select down here, you can actually adjust the brightness of it. You see that?
That's crazy.
So we had to do a little soldering, little taking it apart. Very cool. The next merge conflict, we talk all about it. I'm in love with it. So now I'm playing the Disney Magical Tetris Challenge.
Yes.
And then I'm on eBay buying all of these old games now for way too much.
My gaming, the extent of my gaming is Steam sales. So whatever Steam sales, because they sell these games that are normally like whatever $60, and it's like today $3. I'm like, okay then.
I
So
guess I'm buying all of them. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the two games I occasionally play, and it's like maybe once a week on it for an hour on a Saturday or something, is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that because Google had this Google Stream thing where they would stream it in your browser, and it actually worked. It worked pretty well. And then they were like, if you do this thing and play more than an hour or something, we'll give you a free copy of the game. So
That's
it's
cool.
like, that's neat. And then the other one I just recently picked up is No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. And part of the reason I got that is because they just this week announced they were adding in VR support.
Oh, cool. I like that.
So I want to play with that sometime.
Yeah.
So.
In all of our spare time when we can.
I know. Yeah. And it does that seems like one too, where it's like explore an entire universe. Yeah, that could take some time.
Yeah.
So.
I've always wanted to get into No Man's Sky, but it's never on I guess I could get it on PC, but I need to build a new PC first. That's my.
Yeah.
Also, Harrison, he says that they're going to be releasing the new Sega Genesis Mini soon, which is getting rave reviews. It has like 40 games on it. Apparently, it's really well done. I have the Super NES and the NES Classic, which I never play, but
wow.
they look cute, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Outside the window, but I don't think anyone can hear it. So.
Oh man.
So how are you, John? How's San Diego?
It is good. I am happy now because I have this, which is a remote for my mini split air conditioning system, which just got installed. So we're probably the last people in California to put in solar electricity.
Cool.
And as we did that, the guy was like, hey, with your loan, blah, 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 we can, include there's rebates and stuff for ecological enhancing, whatever.
Would you like to spend more money? If so, we can do that.
Yes. But somehow, actually, long term, this is going to when we looked at our electric bill, because our electric bill during the summer is super bad, and so this will lower it. We tell ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, my buddy, before he moved, he was in a townhouse. It was newer. It was all like LEED certified, platinum, diamond, deluxe. It's like a Delta airline up in here, sapphire, ruby, you know, whatever. And then he put solar panels on top, and I believe that like the electrical company like paid him 1 month like $4 or something like that. Like they were able to like transfer it or something crazy like that. But I was like, that's really cool, you know.
Yep. So, yeah. They were telling us for this area, it's like you're kind of dumb not to. And we have a spot where, so we actually did a ground mount one instead of putting on the roof. So it's it covers an area where we just had dirt before. So I consider it landscaping as well.
There you go. Now the question comes, as Janisky was asking, so does that mean like is that thing programmable? Can you build like a mobile app for it, or is there a mobile app, or can you make your own home?
Yeah, of course, that's the next step. Yeah, there is an inverter and there's like an app for it, so I'm sure it could hack some sort of API. I don't know.
Put a little Raspberry Pi on there.
There you go. Yep. And then the kids would wake me up and they're like, my lights won't turn on, and it'd be because like I have to reboot the Raspberry Pis.
Yeah. I mean, so this week I obviously have internet, which is good. My light is on. My light is on, and yeah, after that outage, which we had another outage again. We always have internet outage where I live.
Yeah.
And, Heather and I were just talking about how funny it is that literally, you know, half the time whenever the internet goes out, like we can't even control our lights. We can't do anything. Like nothing works. You're just like, oh gosh. So I mean, we're pretty lucky. I'll show you. Like I have a lot of people. Like they will use their smart devices and they'll use other things to control the lights or whatever. But we don't use that. We use one of these manual ones, so you can link this to your it's a hue dimmer switch, right? So it's from Philips, and you can see I have two cameras, so John needs to get a hold of this way from a distance. So inside of here I can just hit on, and that talks to the hub directly. So even if the internet goes out, as long as the Wi-Fi network is up, that's good. No internet required, right? I don't need to go to my Google Home, which needs to call an API, which then comes down and goes the thing. Bingo bango. This at least like it just emulates a switch, but you just paste it onto the wall, so I can, when we move, because we don't own, so we can't like replace switches. So
right.
One day, not in Seattle at least. That's for sure. Never in Seattle. Maybe San Diego. All right. What are we doing, Mr. Jon Galloway?
Yeah, so looking at our project board, the one thing that we had from last time as our must-have was to actually deploy the website. And we talked about this. We don't have to deploy the website because we're really turning the code and the service and stuff over to the team that's going to officially run it and have pagers and wake up in the middle of the night if the site's down and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it would be nice to. And then another thing that'd be cool is once it's live, then if we have a service endpoint, we can even, play with it and show it off, and other people can, run against the API and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I think the biggest part of the website right now that I have to, like, let's say people want to contribute, was that right now people have to go set up a Google account, or they have to figure out how to use the mock data. Now they have to run the Azure Functions separately. Like, it would be nice just to point it up at the whatever and then go from there.
Yep, absolutely.
So I figure I'll sort of drive it, because the one thing I wanted to do that I'm not an expert of all the time, I am creating websites or Azure functions that only I control. And same thing with Azure DevOps. And I don't really know how to share or, give other people access to stuff. So I figure we could walk through setting up some of these resources and
sure, let's do it. Yep.
So, all right. So the website lives here, obviously on yours here. So the first thing I think we want to do is go into, should we create a new org or just a new project, do you think?
Wait, so where, sorry, I was flipping around. We could create I don't think necessarily you need a new org. Is there a reason you'd do that?
I don't, if you want to group a bunch of work under one, but I think we could just create a new project under my account.
I think, well, question for you. Can you move a project to another org later?
Good question. Let's see. So here's my MVVM helpers. Let's go into project settings. These are public, so.
Mm-hmm.
Security dashboard. I don't think settings. I don't think so. Don't think so. I would imagine it would be in here. You can add administrators. You can delete the project. That doesn't seem quite ideal.
I think it's probably just fine as a project. I mean,
okay. We'll put it under mine. We'll call it. Yeah, then it would show up under your, like, what you would end up seeing is you would see like another org here, and you would see your name or whatever. There, I could create a new public project, and I could call it law.asp. Because that'd be a great name. Create a public. Boom. So this will house everything, but we don't need everything because we're not really going to have our work items there. So let's see. Project settings. And Jon is following along via Twitch, so low latency.
I am. I'm following via Twitch, and I'm also I'm taking a look at which Azure account which we want to use eventually. Yeah.
So I'm going to turn off repos, turn off turn off boards, turn off test plan. Let's add an administrator. I'm going to add you as an administrator. What's your email address?
Well, that's my question. Which one to use?
I use my personal for my personal projects. I don't use
let's
my
do
Microsoft
that.
One.
Let's do that.
I don't know what your personal email is.
Oh, it's my name, Jon Galloway @gmail.com.
Perfect.
I thought you had it memorized.
Yeah. Now how does it?
Now you do.
Now here's the problem, right? Jon Galloway.
Yeah, this is actually a. So what you have to do, I think, is you have to add me as a person and then invite me to the thing.
Oh, I see.
Which is a little frustrating.
Let me refresh this puppy. So I need to add you as a team member.
Yeah, it'd be nice. And I've noticed this, there's different ways, different, web SaaS things handle stuff. Some are like, hey, you want to add a person? Of course you want to invite them and all that. Others are like, make you go add the person and then invite them to the thing.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So
I should probably have an email.
Now let's see if I can add you as an admin. Yes. Okay. So that's a. Now the correct nice thing, feature request Azure DevOps team. When I want to add person as an administrator, just add them to the team. Just have a button.
Right. Yes.
That's why I like using our products. We get feature requests all the time. So by using them, I'll make it bigger too.
All right. So I'm trying this now and see when I log in what happens. So I need to switch over.
Also adding cool icons.
Okay.
Because that's the important part of having a.
Yes, exactly.
All right, now you're also an admin too. So.
Okay, so I did not get an email invitation, which is a little interesting to me.
I wonder if you're just on it when you're in your DevOps.
Okay. It's doing multiple redirects. So many redirects.
Also, yeah, Janisky was saying, should we even try to use the GitHub action CI/CD? I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, maybe we should push that for a next week thing and try to set that up. I don't know.
Yeah, we should. I've never used it, so I'd be intrigued because we'll see what we need to do, and then can we do that in Are you in it? Do you see it?
So I see. What did you call it? You called it live.asp.net.
Oh yeah, that's not correct.
I would have called it live.net.
Yeah, live.net. Oh, this will be interesting. Okay, cool. So change project name. Renaming this project will disrupt actions for this. New .net. Okay, perfect. So they allow you to rename. This is what we're finding out. But URLs, version control,
sure,
blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. And now we're good. Now it has a whole different URL. Boom.
All right, let me refreshenate. There it is.
Wow.
Cool. It says welcome. It's happy.
Welcome. Okay.
Welcome to ZomboCom.
Welcome to Zombo. People did not know what that is for a long time. So, so a new pipeline? Are we gonna build stuff?
Sure.
Now, do you like YAML or do you like the classic editor?
So honestly, I haven't used the YAML one yet. I'm willing to try it out. I kind of I kind of like code based stuff because I kind of feel more comfortable that I can, version and diff it and kind of think more about it,
Yeah.
So yeah. I will be honest on this. Most of what I've done with all the CI/CD stuff has been more like set it up in Azure directly, set up builds, and then I've used like other build servers and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So then that becomes the question: should we create this Azure DevOps or should we try to do it all in Azure?
I say we go for it. Let's go Azure DevOps.
Because then we can do checks on it and we can tie it into CI fully.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do classic editor.
Okay. Wait. So why did you pick classic editor?
I don't like YAML. So.
Oh, okay. YAML. Yeah, I get it.
Well, what I do like though is if you start in the classic editor, you can export your YAML later on.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So. All right, GitHub. Let's see. Let me authorize with GitHub. That sounds good.
What's interesting with this too is by using Azure DevOps, then we can think about if we want to set up anything with the mobile app later too, right?
Very true. Now I'm a collaborator on the live.net, so I have access to that. So that's good. Jon Galloway, live.net. Cool. That's good. Now this thing is a ASP.NET Core.
It is .NET Core.
And there's a functions. You want to do it all in one pipeline or two?
I don't know. What do people on the chat? Any recommendations? I would think maybe of doing separate pipelines. Have one .NET Core, ASP.NET Core that points directly at the ASP.NET Core project. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think you could do it either way. You could put it in to a single pipeline with multiple steps, basically, because you have different like phases. So you could say phase 1, build the website. Phase 2, build the thing. Donovan would probably say that you would. I don't know what he would say what you would do. That's a good question. Huh.
Well, I mean, it's not super hard to. Yeah. Sure. So which one did you say? Start with separate?
I think start separate.
Let's do that.
So we can say so we could do so here we could say front end website. Front end, and then we get a back end services, and then so we could just say website, mobile, functions, like those three things, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we have website, Azure pipelines. This is new. This is new over here, by the way. They just changed this. I'm a little confused.
So that's interesting too. The agent specification. Do you do Ubuntu? What do you?
Yeah. So before it used to be like hosted Visual Studio 2017, hosted Visual Studio, blah blah blah. It's a good question.
I mean, you can always do the Windows 2019, but I think it's kind of. Let's try the Ubuntu.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Let's be all cross-platformy.
That's right. Okay, so it also has these link things.
Yeah, so and I think that's the place where you're actually going to have to like say, here's where my CS proj is, right?
Yeah, because like this comes from this link here for all intents and purposes. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, do you have to actually like Splunk and tell it yourself where to find it, or it'd be nice, like it knows where my code is. It'd be nice if it may browse.
So that's the thing is, if I was to go, yeah. See here, there's like a Explorer.
Oh, let's do that.
But that's for publishing artifacts. But here, I think that Yeah, see, it lets you do like regexes and things like that.
Yeah, but that's not handy because we have multiple different projects, right?
Yeah. So this will just be the website. So probably we just need to rebuild maybe just the web.
Oh, when you say in that section where it says get sources,
Yes.
um, in the get sources, can you, and again, I've got the lag here, so I'm not sure, but can we set there no, there's no way to set the path there. All right. So I think in the restore and all that kind of stuff, we can just write in the full path, right? So
yeah, we could probably do, so we just want to build this one. So we just want to build live standup.web.csproj.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Smob is saying, how would you break it down? How you break it down will depend on which services you want to deploy independently.
Yeah, and I think we do want to be able to deploy the function and the website independently, right? Because we're and the mobile app too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so
and also you can have it so multiple pipelines funnel into one release pipeline, which is kind of nice too. So
yep.
I think here, what if I just did something like this, right? So here's the, look for live standup.web.csproj basically.
Yeah.
And then for test, you could do this test one here. So then you could say, because this is going to look for any, look anywhere in every subdirectory for live standup.web.csproj. And then the test one, we would want it to look for, this is in live standup test.
Yeah.
So here, I think we just do the same thing. Right?
So I think that works. And then, it's debatable. I could see switching over and using like a full path or a more full path, so it's not having to search through all subdirectories to find that file. I don't know if it makes a difference, but
I don't know either. I think that's tricky about it, because here it's like, okay, well, restore. It wants us to restore. Are we restoring only for that? Like, what about the restore for the test?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's find out. Well, it would have to be separate CSproj files, right?
Yeah. Or, you know what I like to do? Oh, yeah, I guess it...
You could do live stand-up. Yeah.
Here's what you do. Unlink all. Get rid of all that shit, right?
Really?
Yeah, and then you could say restore. See, here you can do multiple, right? You could do...
Yep.
You could just do, hey, restore out all of the NuGets. Doesn't matter, right? But build, only build this. Test, only build this. Publish, figure out the publish stuff.
Yeah, I think you might want to tweak it over time, only because restore is going to take a while then. If it's restoring all these NuGet packages it doesn't need. You can also do a regular expression that just, like includes a list of values, explicit values, like,
So you could do something like this, maybe. I think you could do, yeah, because you can do multiple on new lines.
Oh, easy enough.
I think.
Let's see.
Build it. And done. All right, well, let's run it then, I guess. So this should run, but if I go back...
This should run and break somewhere, and then we'll fix what's broken, and we'll keep doing repeat.
Pretty much, I think. Yeah, because if I was to go look at this, this agent pool's good, this stuff is good, right? Inherit from pipeline, good. Then restore, that restores the stuff, and then this, because this would be the same as sort of just like running it via command line. Test. Run the stuff, publish the test, publish this stuff.
This is really cool, by the way. I'm watching it like check all this stuff out. It's so neat. Oh, that's right, because there's a shared project also.
Yeah, and then, but I think the restore should do all of the any of the dependencies too. I assume.
Dependencies, yeah. The solution references.
One would assume, question mark.
Build, test, publish. All right, something starting the build.
Okay.
Thinks it can build now. So this is actually good. It's doing web, shared.
Oh, and it actually called a restore on it too, which is funny. I think when you call build, it automatically calls restore.
Yeah, so that was a change from like .NET Core 1.0. You had to manually restore and then manually before build. But now if you call build, it'll automatically restore.
So do you think that we should? All right, so we also have a failure in our test, so that's good. Okay. So do you think that we could remove the restore then? Disable it?
We could try disabling it. I honestly didn't see. Now one thing is it doesn't hurt to call restore twice, I believe. Because if it's already got stuff there, it's just gonna no op. Yeah.
That's true. But then just one extra step.
True. Well, so wait, why did we get I'm more worried about red. This red business. Why do we what test failed?
So this says that I think if you actually go into the test, so 5 tests failed. We had
there was a health check.
Yep, 3 health checks failed.
Yeah, so of course the health checks will fail because the site's only been built but not run.
Well, I thought that thing was supposed to run it.
Well, it's not
checks, right?
Yeah, but the site's not published, so it's not. I don't know that it's. I don't think that it's able to execute a health check. Let me see about this.
Yeah, I don't actually know. So maybe we have a .health checks and then a .unit test.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So one thing we could do is we could disable the tests as part of the publishing just to verify that we're able to actually CI/CD. Well, I guess, I don't know. Or are you thinking we should go in and modify the which tests, like split out the tests?
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and pull latest here. I'm on master. Let me make sure I don't have any changes. So, thinking, there's a new update. Always a new update to Visual. Yeah. So let's pull this in.
Makes me wonder too if a build pipeline can specify specific tests.
Hey, did you push the mobile code?
Yes? Question mark.
Yes. Mom says if the tests only work on your machine, they're not good tests.
Fair enough. Yeah, the mobile stuff is.
Oh, it is in there. Okay. Add mobile project. All right. That seems good. Okay, so let me look here. So I have the solution. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay. Cool. Let's get rid of all this junk. Perfect. Okay, so here's what I was thinking is we have our tests. So we actually have some failing tests today.
Mm-hmm.
We have unit tests, health checks, things like that. Here's my thought. What if we duplicate this puppy? So I'm going to go in and say open folder in Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to copy pasta, S. And then we can do right click, rename, and we'll do health checks. Health, not Heather checks, health checks. Health checks. Okay. So then here, this will be health checks.
Are you gonna like change namespaces and stuff too, or?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna delete. Now that I have this, I'm going to remove
and reset. Yeah.
Yeah. So these tests will be okay. Up. Let's remove this. Delete. Yeah, because this is the web. Is this the web application finder? I thought when we created, I thought it was supposed to literally spin up your website and test it, right?
Yeah, and I agree with that, but I don't know if in this build pipeline it's ready to, if it's able to do that, like what it'll actually, because the health, yeah, I don't know.
That is a valid question, James. Okay, so here what I can do is I can delete. If I look here, this could be just health checks. And then these are just X unit tests. So here we can just delete, remove, delete. Yep. Okay. So then inside of our tests, I'm gonna make sure that those are there. Health checks, done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, and then here, this is all looking the same. Blah 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 blah. This one has. This one says include sample data. Okay, so now if I go into the test explorer, we are actually failing some tests. So I'll probably do like new branch, say break health checks, refactor tests. Okay, so we have health checks. These now the question about there's 5 and then there's 12. So if I look at the fails here, it looks like 3 of them failed, but not all of them.
Yeah, well, so those actually would fail because it's unable to reach the YouTube endpoint because it doesn't have the API key and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of an invalid test.
Yeah, unless I don't know if there's a way as part of CI/CD you set environment variables to run tests, but that seems like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it seems like to me you'd want to just have your unit tests run in CI/CD, and then your kind of more integration tests
later on.
Maybe think about that later. But yeah, now are those being listed twice? Are those duplicated?
These are for each of the inline datas.
Okay.
So for each of these tests, we have different inline data. So I think they probably failed for all of them, but they just list them once. So there are actually, there's 2, let's see, 1, 2, there's 2 tests with 3 in here. So yeah, maybe. Okay, so this one actually does fail. So the show is in future. And I bet that this fails because we...
Oh, because we did it. So we should change that to like 2025 or something like that.
Yeah. Probably.
So that somebody in the year 2025 will go, what's wrong with this code?
Wrong? Yeah. If it fails the test, what happened?
I saw, by the way, there was Oranini, he had a thing where he would basically, it was like an exception. It was basically a time bomb. And he would say like, it was an attribute, I believe, but it was basically like, if you were going to do a hack, it would work for 1 month and then it'll time out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the whole idea is like to prevent like a short-term hack from living on forever.
That makes sense.
Good idea. Yep.
So, okay, so what's happening here, this one is trying to say, so is new, if I go to definition, this is saying if it was within the last 14 days. So I think what we need to do is
actually in code create it for a specific time, right?
Yeah, so this actually is saying this is probably today's date, and this is like minus. So scheduled start time would be like
what about like
datetime.now.add I think it's all UTC. I could add hours and then do like -1.
Sure.
Right.
What's our logic for that? It's if it's within the past
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Cool.
So if it's not in the future, it's not on air, and the UTC now minus scheduled start time dot total days is less than or equal to 14.
Okay.
The last
So
2
there were
weeks.
2 dates being set there. There was a start and end time. We could just set the end time to start time. You don't care?
No,
The,
you're right, because, well, so the,
the end time doesn't actually matter. Oh, wait, no, isn't. I don't know.
yeah, so is on air is that it has to have a value.
Mm.
So this is if it's not on air. And if it's on air, then start time has a value. And this one does not have a value. So actually, I think it does need one, but I think we can just do like,
Add an hour to,
yeah, I
or
think
date time.
you do this, right? You just do this and then -1,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it says, so there you go. So Smob is saying, I would normally use a theory here and test the corner cases like actually 14 days. So that's probably correct. So how do we do a theory?
Yeah. So instead of fact, you do, I mean, we have.
And then you do inline data.
Yeah.
And then here you can just pass it anything, right? So I could pass it like 1.
Sure.
And I could do like int days. And then what's a new line? So then you could do like you could do like, yeah, corner cases would be like 1 and
14 and 15.
14.
Oh, well, yeah, but then yeah. So these are all for, yeah. Oh, right.
And you could do this, right? And you could say true. Then you could do, this is what we do in Xamarin Essentials. Like, well, we can inside of here also do 15 and then do,
yeah, false. Beautiful.
yeah.
And then maybe a -1.
Yeah. Yep. And I think here the scheduled and end could just be exactly the same. So this could be days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then here you would say suit.r are equal is new, and then, oh yeah, expected is first. So is new. So yeah, Smob likes it. It's just like that.
Beautiful.
So then we just really created a whole bunch of new tests, which is great, if this is correct.
It's like, boss, did you get that feature done? No, but I wrote 4 new tests.
Yeah, 4 new tests. We did it. All right, so it's happening. Okay, so show is new. Run. Nice. And ask question mark. No.
I've totally picked up that question mark thing from you. I say that all the time. My family was like, why do you say that?
Okay, so
okay,
if it is
14 didn't work because it's exactly. So we're checking for greater than, I believe, and here it's exactly equal.
I think it's because when it does this check, time is passed between this and this, right?
Oh.
So
yeah,
I think 13 is fine.
I don't. Yeah.
What is double? It takes a double, right? So we could do a double, right? And then you could do, this would be fun. You could do like 0.0001, then 14 or 13.99999.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. That's pretty accurate. And then you could do 14, and that should actually be false. And then also 15 should be false. Because there's time in,
yeah,
there's a split,
a tick
has occurred.
This is a theory. I'm not
And also it's because if you were to look at our is new, what it's using is total, which is a double. Now if we used days, That would be an int.
Mm. All right, it's showing. What's going on there?
I just picked up the new ones I needed. So that's the I probably. So the question is, do we want it to be total days or days?
What? Wait, what is the difference between days and total days?
So days is just integer. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and total days includes the fraction of the day.
Oh, yeah. Why not go fraction of the day?
Okay.
So it's not some weird thing ticking over at midnight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then that means like as soon as, let's say ASP.NET Stand-Up starts on Tuesday, 2 weeks later, as soon as the next one starts, that one's not new anymore.
Yep.
So it's not like a half a day, because if it would be like 14.4, it's still 14 days.
Yeah, it's always weird when there's something that depends on the server time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
And actually what you could do here instead of hard coding a date, well, yeah, what we need to do is just
Add time to
one.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Add one on there. Yeah, actually, I don't know. You have new squiggles on a new line for some reason. So I think just add one, and then that's in the future, right? But I think what you could do here is you can also do the same thing. You could do theory.
You could do theories and
Yeah, and then you would do 1.0 and then true, and then you could do negative and then false.
Yep.
I will say I was just doing some unit tests in my MVVM helpers libraries, and I'm using MS test there, and it is not quite as easy to do inline data. So
that is really cool. I mean, this is a perfect example of this, testing multiple things, all kinds of weird edge cases, all that stuff. So
yeah, or else you have to do multiples or put multiples in the same test, and then you're kind of doing a little.
Then your tests are really hokey, and yeah.
Now, what we can do though is while we have our DevOps up, we can go into our triggers. We can go enable continuous integration, and we can do our pull request validation and save that off, right? So then when I push this branch up, I don't have permission. You're going to have to do it.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, why do I? Oh, what permission do you have what?
I can't set up pull requests on your repo.
So let me change your collaborator status. Right? Should be a
yes, probably. That might be it.
Because
I can't see settings, right?
So this is weird. You are a collaborator, but you have push access to repo. Goodness me, it's not showing me an easy thing to change.
Access permission.
It says you have push access.
But I don't know if I can set up webhooks.
All right, maybe I need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, webhook. So how's that going to happen?
I think what's going to have to happen is I bet that we're going to have to use your GitHub connection.
Now, one last thing here. I'm trying to find out where this is weird, because when I look at your access on this, it doesn't look like I have a way to give you permission to set up webhooks. But I thought that was, I can share my screen if you want. Normally there's like a drop down thing where when you add people to a team, you can.
Yeah, because there's collaborators.
Yeah, so under collaborators, you're listed as a collaborator, but it doesn't show like any other kind of webhook administration.
Because I know, like, if I am, because I can't see settings, right? And since I can't see settings, and I think it's because we're on just our normal account. We're not on a team, right?
Uh,
So I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that. Include
I
administrators.
Yeah, this is weird for me because I had thought, and maybe I'm just used to working on teams and bigger projects and stuff like that. But I am used to being able to add, you know what I mean? There's a drop down near a collaborator, and I can change their level.
Yeah, and you can only limit their level.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting.
Okay, so do we want to use my?
I guess so, because you don't want to transfer it to me, that's for sure. So, yeah, so I think what's going to have to happen is you're going to want to come into here and then.
Oh, right. I can just go directly. Yeah. Okay.
And then you're going to want to change the service connection.
Yeah. Okay.
And then add
So,
your service connection and call it Jon Galloway service connection.
okay.
I think.
Yeah. So
I'll get out of it.
I'm not authorize using. Oh, right. So I need to change. Yep.
So while you're doing that, I'll create this new PR. Or I'll push the code, but not do the PR yet, so we can set it up. Fix, test, and push to different project. Okay.
Okay. So now I'm on. I've got the repo picked. I've got the branch picked. I don't need to do clean. I don't need to tag. I think it's good.
Okay. So if I go in.
Wait, I need to save. Is there a save?
Yeah. Save up top.
You
don't need a queue, just save.
I seriously don't see a save button. Oh, there it is. Save in queue and save. That's a little bit hidden. Okay. Switch.
Look at you writing comments. Good.
Yes, I get paid by the character. All right. So that is set.
Okay.
I've done the save, but not queue.
Okay, so the one thing that you can try to do now is if you go into. Oh, I see. Okay, so let's add that up. So I'm going to save that. All right, so let's go.
Oh, I didn't switch it.
Now let me see if I can go and enable a trigger on here. And we're good now. Okay, so because that yeah, so if we were in a team, teams can have multiple owners of a GitHub repo, and then everyone can set up web requests on that team. But since it's an individual project, we needed to use your stuff basically. But you trust me with your credentials. So.
Hey, but this is cool because we're setting up Azure DevOps on your account, GitHub on my account. Ran into that little
snafu.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got that. Now, when we go over here, so I committed local. I'm going to push my branch. So smog
and then
is correct.
And I was looking over at the other. You changed the restore to just restore test, or we didn't need to because health check is already a separate CS project.
Yeah. So this one will just be tests or whatever. Okay. So I come back over to live.net. We should be able to set up a pull request. Boom. Great pull request. And my favorite part is if everything is working correctly, we should hopefully see a little website CI running.
Oh, beautiful.
So then what I like to do is you can go into, now I can't do this, so you'll have to do this. But one thing I like to do, John, is I like to go into, let's say I go into my repositories and I look at, where's it at? Let's say another one. I go into settings. Then you can go into branches. And then you can create a new branch protection rule here for the master branch. And what I like to do is I like to require that the status checks have passed and that the branch is up to date before merging. And then you can select the checks in there.
Okay, wait. So I'm doing that now. Require status checks to pass before merging.
Yep.
Yes. And then require branches to be up to date before merging.
Yeah.
Yes. And then it gives me a check mark for status checks found in last week for the repository website.
Yep.
Check that off.
Boom.
I've created. Ooh, rule can't be blank.
Oh,
So
master. Yeah. So then what's cool is when people make pull requests, they'll actually see if they broke the website or not. And the unit tests. And they can click on it because it's public, so they can actually look at the results too.
it said rules invalid because
Uh-oh.
that's funny. Okay, require status. So it deselected everything when I had to fill in a name.
Oh, classic.
That's not good.
Thanks, GitHub.
Rule is invalid. What are you talking about?
What does it say?
Okay, branch name pattern. Oh, that's weird.
Just master. Right?
Oh, I was giving it a name. I was thinking that was a name. There you go. All right, fine. So
it is a little confusing. And in fact, they know about the branches, so they should just let me pick it.
Yeah.
But I think you can put regexes in there too, so you can say apply to all branches.
So now if you look at that, you should see all checks have passed. If you refresh your in GitHub.
Yep.
That is neat.
Yeah. So then someone in here can click on details.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can get here. They can look at all the results. They can't do some of the stuff, but they could look at, the results, if it broke, etc. Now that only took 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
On Ubuntu. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So website.
Let's do it.
Done.
Well, yes. It's
Backend.
not actually. It's not on the web yet.
Not on the web. Do you want to do the functions?
Sure.
All right. Let's see if this works. So we'll say new classic editor, and I do like that there is literally a one on there. So let's use your GitHub service. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Jon Galloway. I have all of yours. That's great.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
That's
live.net.
Live.net.
Yeah. Well, when it asks you that permission, I don't really like the GitHub permission dialog. It's kind of like grant everything or no. Doesn't make it easy to say just this one thing.
No, what they really need to do is, maybe they have this and I don't know, is I would like to be able to say, give this brand or give this project only access to this one GitHub repo, and that's it. Yep. Ideally. Yeah.
All right. So where are we doing? Where's our function?
Right there. Azure Functions
Core. Wonderful. Cool.
So this should be really easy, because if this works, then it should just be build project, archive files, done.
Yep. You need to give it the
pipeline
project pattern or the.
Oh yeah.
So the build source and it's got whatever the name is.
And everyone's yelling at me here. Is that better? Parsa has the dark theme there. Look at all these themes. What do I like? Icon.
I didn't even know that.
A little bit better.
I didn't know they'd added that.
No, the quiet is good. The problem is that I like light themes. Solar.
I kind of like, the dark themes. I'm on dark themes.
See, those are preview themes. These are the default. Dark.
Yeah, where'd you get your preview themes? I don't have that.
Because I turned on the preview features.
Ooh.
Let's turn them all on. Oh, there's a whole bunch of new stuff in here. Whoa.
Preview features? I didn't have that.
You don't got preview features? Right here.
Well, now I do.
Yeah, so I think, so you can look multi-stage pipelines, new build results page. I don't turn them all on, I say.
Going nuts.
Yeah, turn on everything. New service connections experience. Who doesn't want that? Now, this is just my personal, so it's not like it has special access.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this is so great.
And then how do I brush it? I've gone done.
Yeah, now you set it on fire.
I did, yeah. Now it's all mad at me.
Oh, so mine no longer has access to themes. I don't see themes listed anymore. Oh, is it under user settings?
I don't know. Now everything's different.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah, it
what we
is.
get.
I don't know if I like that better. I don't know if I like that better.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't persist across. So that's interesting. All quiet. Use. Dark theme. That's so gross. I don't. Not a dark theme.
Neptune's kind of nice.
Neptune. Glaring red in your face. I like quiet. Quiet looks good. Reminds me of like a for the one person that's very upset in the chat room. Put Neptune because you seem to like Neptune. All right, let me refresh this page.
All right.
We'll get the new theme. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Now back to business.
Okay.
Okay. So what we were doing was we need to set. Oh, some people get really specific and really. Okay. So we need to set the function CS proj.
Going to Jon Galloway. This should be live functions.
Live stand up dot functions.
Great names. Whoever named them, on it.
Right? It was probably me typing and you dictating.
Probably. Now, I do want to check something, though, really quick. If I go into my xamarin.forms. My hands. There we go. I think I needed to change something in my pipeline. So I think it's so dark. Okay, so here's what I did. So I did build. I did the same thing. Build, output, publish, output, configuration, release, output, publish, output, release, archive files. Okay. Here I did / publish output zip. Okay, this looks correct. They must have fixed it then. I'm pretty sure I needed to change something at some point. Oh, you know what I did? It says root folder or file to archive. And this was looking at the root.
Now, as far as the publish archive thing, that only really matters if you're deploying it, right? I mean, we're not shipping this anywhere. We just basically want to run tests on it.
Putting it right on Azure, man.
All right.
Function?
Yeah,
shipping.
Well, I didn't know if that I didn't know if that was in your OKRs. Okay.
So now what I'm going to do, because I think it was just, it kind of thinks that, hey, this looks for the Hanselman function. It outputs it to publish output, but it's going to put it in the current folder in which it is.
Oh, right. You want to...
They're not linked together, right? So I need to say, hey, like go look in this source directory for this thing. Yep.
And this is one place where I've had to mess with this a bit, like where you're digging around to find the right path and stuff.
Yeah. So here we should be able to do that same thing. Enable all this stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Save and queue. For some reason, I'm running on a Visual Studio 2017 machine, but that was the default.
Does it matter?
I don't. Nobody knows. Now this is all new because I've turned on every single preview feature, so everything is brand new.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, what's neat too is I'm able to dig around in here as you're running this and like edit the whatever pipeline and check stuff out. Because for instance, I'm looking at the dropdown. We could run on Windows 2019. Oh, but that doesn't have Visual Studio 2017. So I'm surprised there isn't a...
Does it have Visual Studio 2019?
I don't see a Visual Studio 2019, which seems frightening.
Is there a Windows 2019? What is Windows 2019?
I don't even know.
So what you need to do is go Azure DevOps, agent configuration. Agents. So there is a Microsoft hosted agents, and this will tell you exactly what's in it. So Windows Server 2019 with Visual Studio
that's what we want.
2019. Now this has there's a Docker image, a Docker compose, and then it tells you all the things that it has.
So it's Windows. That's a weird name. They've changed their naming conventions, I guess.
They did.
Because now it's Windows-2019, which doesn't
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't really say VS.
So, and that is, yeah, and it also has Windows-latest. Oh, but that's just if you're doing the YAML.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we could see if it passed, but we probably want to switch over to
2019.
Yeah, just because it's new.
New hotness all day. So this is finishing the build, archiving. So yeah, and it passed.
That took just about as long as our entire website, which surprises me. Yeah.
Well, the question then becomes, let's go back into here and we edit it. What if we pump it out to 2019? Why is there a Win 1803? What does that even mean?
Yeah, so that's a build number.
It's not even on
here.
Like oh, here it is. That is Windows Server Core 1803 for running Windows containers.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, so
it seems like they could call that like a hosted window. I like the classic editor pool names for them better, honestly. But.
Yeah. A little bit more descriptive.
Yeah. Save and queue.
Save and queue. Now, I will say that I did find where they hid the preview features. So now, here's me. You have to actually hit this little triple dot for more options, and then there's the preview feature. A little bit weird.
Once you enable preview features, they hide the preview features.
Yeah, that's true. I want them to just turn on all preview. There needs to be an option to say turn on all preview features for me all the time.
That's like on Windows settings now. There's the enable developer features. I want just a global enable developer features. Everything. My phone, my
everything.
Everything.
A Game Boy. Turn on. I want everything. I want all the bits. Give it to me.
Enable hard mode.
Yeah, I was looking at because you can go into Visual Studio, right, and you can do preview features, and there's like 2 here in stable. So compact. I have the What do I have? I have the compact menu bar and search bar, and then I don't have .NET Core, because that one I might not want on default. But
yeah, and this stuff's changing around anyways. They're doing some new stuff with the way they ship .NET Core and the SDKs and stuff. So that's a recent thing that they just kind of shipped out with the latest VS 2019 previews and .NET Core SDKs and stuff, where it doesn't, because when you go to add remove programs and you have like 19 different SDKs installed and you're scared to. So now Visual Studio, if you install .NET Core SDK through Visual Studio, it is like, I'm managing this now. You know what I mean? Oh, cool. So now if you update Visual Studio and it installs a new SDK, it'll automatically remove the old one. So you don't get that kind of cruft of 90 different SDKs.
I like that. That's kind of how I want it to work. I mean, I know that updates may take a little bit longer on preview channel. If we change a preview every single time, so it would like update it, but I kind of want it to,
Yeah. Well, and like Nick's saying, hey, cool. Hi, Nick. It's cool that you don't have all this cruft and all this like, I don't want to break anything. Can I get rid of this SDK? I don't know. This is nice because it's like, it's managing, and SDKs for the most part are cumulative. Like they'll, it'll run all the old stuff. So, all right, Bill. It surprises me how long these functions take to build. It's longer than the website. To me, like a website's a whole big thing, and a function's a tiny little bit of code, and it's like,
I don't know what it's doing.
It's counting objects. It's zipping.
Is it?
No, it's not even. Yeah.
It's taking longer on this one. Oh no, I think. Oh no, it actually took a lot shorter. It just my my output was locked.
Okay.
Cool. So by changing it to 2019, it trimmed 20 seconds off.
Okay.
But I bet that a lot of that, you know what I bet that is?
Do they cache?
NuGet restore.
Yeah. Does it cache stuff though?
No.
So
it's a fresh machine.
Okay.
So I can almost guarantee that. Now I could be wrong. Because I believe that when you install Visual Studio and you install some of the workloads, there is a cache. Now, are the APIs and NuGets that we're using part of that cache?
I
I don't know.
20 seconds worth.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like Humanizer, right? It's installing all of these different ones, right? So, all right, we got our pipelines. Pipelines done. We should rename this, though.
Well, and, you know, speaking of Humanizer specifically, maybe we need a more, you know, maybe there's a special Humanizer NuGet package we should be using or something. I don't know.
Only Oren would know.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
So we got to release this puppy, right?
Yes.
Now, do you want to be able to release all of them at the same time? Or I think what we should have is like one pipeline, and then we can have multiple artifacts.
Okay.
Sounds like
I'm not sure, honestly. This is definitely a thing where it's like instead of try and plan it all out ahead of time, it's like let's make a best guess and then tweak it as we go.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything for ASP.NET Core? That's not anything special. It's just a
app service.
Okay, so let's do app service. Okay. Could be website deploy.
Do we want to deploy the function before the website? My thought there is the website depends kind of on the function existing.
Do we always want to release the website and publish a new backend every single time?
I don't know. So yeah, that's part of why I was thinking we may want to have. I don't know. Yeah, let's go for it and see. Right, because we can change it around. I would think though, like dependency wise, the one thing that always needs to be up is the function.
Yeah. Okay. So we could remove this then.
Oh, did you see that animation there? That was nice.
Like.
Yep.
We can add a function. Function deploy. Okay, so we need to create some.
They add stuff all the time. I hadn't seen the Azure function with Docker container as an agent. That's interesting.
That scares me.
I'm way up. I feel blessed.
Also, Andrew Dev, thank you for the follow earlier today, and Hami, thank you for the follow right now. Appreciate that. All right, so let's create a new resource group.
Sure. Yeah, and so while you're doing that, I'll make my sales pitch. Resource groups, like, use them, because I used to, when I first started using Azure, it was like create a bunch of stuff, and then later trying to clean up is difficult because you don't want to break things, and you don't know what's where. But when you're doing stuff, if you logically group it as resource groups, so much easier to, like, later on you go, oh, this was for this conference, or this was for this test project, or whatever, blow it all away, you know?
Yeah, that's what I do all the time. So I'm going to put this in my...
Yep. And well, another nice thing is what we're going to do here is we're going to share access, and it's really easy if you have it in a resource group to share access to the resource. That's
what I'm very interested in. So this, I'm going to create it with my sweet VS Enterprise with MSDN. Boom. Little free Azure credits. Live.net is what I'm going to call it. And then West US 2. I'm just a big fan of the West US 2 region. Just happens to be, I don't even know, Azure map. Where is it? So that happens to be very close to where I live.
So do they, I mean, they kind of show generally, but I don't know if they like totally.
Right there.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I think, thought that, I don't think they're going to tell me where it is.
Yeah.
But I would like to know. But I don't think they tell you.
I mean, they're big enough now you can see them from satellites, so
yeah,
you know, it's not like a total secret, but I think they don't go out of their way to make them, you know, like, hey, here's our thing, you know.
Check out our sweet data center.
Yeah.
All right, so our resource group was created.
Wonderful.
And create a function. Function. App. Azure function. Call it live.net functions. We're going to put it on Windows consumption. Now, I like to put all of my things in the same area. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
sir. I'm a fan of that also.
Yeah. Now this is
all my eggs in one basket.
But yeah, if that data center goes down, I want everything to go down.
I like Genescu's name. He's coming up with good resource names. Resource Galloway and Jon Groups. So
Jon Groups. All right, so we got live.net functions. We'll say dev, just in case we end up putting it into a real place.
Yep.
And then use existing resource group.
Yes.
And you can see there's a Julia demo in. I wonder who that was
nice.
For. And let's run it on Windows because I like Windows. It was developed on Windows, built in CI on Linux, deployed on Windows, and then we could just deploy it from Mac for fun, and then
right? Why not?
Why not all of them?
Raspberry Pi.
Now, all right, we're just gonna. We don't have an existing storage, but we'll need a storage, so we'll just link it. That's the cool thing is the Azure function, when you create it here, it'll link this storage account where we're going to dump those files right here.
Can you give it a different name? Or does
No, I can do whatever I want. How's that? .NET functions.
Yeah, much better.
Storage. Great.
Like it.
Oh, it's too long. .NET live.net storage.
Good.
You gotta click off of it.
I know. There's some like kind of funky things here.
All right, cool. So how do I give you access to this puppy?
Yeah. Okay. So go into the resource group. Okay. Do access control.
I am.
Now you can do add.
Co-administrator?
Sure.
They can only be added at the subscription level.
Ooh, well, no then.
Add a role assignment.
Yeah.
Select a role. Owner?
Sure, I think, yeah.
What's the look at all these. Oh my goodness.
I know, there's a lot. You can really
get it. You get all of it.
Yep.
Assign access to Azure AD group, user group service principal.
Yeah, so I forget. Let's try.
Maybe just search your email.
Yeah.
Is it also jongalloway@gmail.com?
At Gmail, yep, that'll work.
Okay, so this user, we send an email that enables them to collaborate with default directory.
That sounds fine.
Okay. Save. Okay, so you should get an email.
Yep. Standing by, refreshing. It's interesting. I want it to be immediate. There it is. Got it. It's funny, like with something like this, I'm like, why did it take 12 seconds? But like not that long ago, it was like you unsubscribe from an email list and they're like, we'll take you off in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I still get those. It'll be like, you've requested that we remove this off, but maybe it'll be 5 years from now. Okay.
The only reason I've seen something like that happening is I used to work in financial companies, and there was stuff that happened with FTPing text files around that was just scary. It was ridiculous. All right, I'm logging in. So I actually, in my default browser right now, which is Edgeium, I'm getting a request entity too long, which means I have to clear cookies, and that's a big pain. So I just switched over to Chrome. Hello, Chrome. All right, so there we go. And
You in?
Let's resource groups. And
hopefully live.net.
Oh, I have to change subscriptions.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to have like all your subscriptions up here somewhere. Also, Twitch Loft, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. You only get one a month, and you gave it to me, and I appreciate that, and I love you. Thank you so much. And of course, we make a donation for bits, subs, all that stuff. All profits go over to the Duke Langer Foundation, supporting the Redshank Duke monkeys of the world. They're beautiful.
So I'm still digging around trying to find this. Okay, get started. Copy link. Throw it up in here. It's totally going to work. Redeem. accept.
Oh, I see you, owner. This resource.
Wonderful.
You're in. Okay, so now basically both of us should be able to actually set up this pipeline with this subscription.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to show mine. Click authorize, connect to Azure. A new Azure service principal will be created to the collaborator role. All right, authorize. That's pretty nifty. So it saw that I'm logged in. It sees my Azure, and then cannot authenticate. Pop-up was blocked. And I gotta log in.
Interesting.
Some key stuff. I turned on this thing where you send a notification to your phone. Because I was doing demos and I keep needing to type in my password on my iOS device.
Oh, right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this literally does say if pop-up blocker is enabled in the browser, disable it. I will say, like, pop-up blockers are pretty aggressive in newer days. So I think it now has to log me in. But not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Send another notification. Approve. It's fun too because sometimes it just has an approve button, but then sometimes you need to like give it like a number or a digit or something.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. All right, so app type, function app on Windows, app name, refresh.
Is that the right MSDN?
There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Got it. Live.
Did it just had to refresh several times?
Had to do it, yeah.
Right.
Okay. And save. Okay. So what you want, John, is you want me to add some artifacts. And the artifacts are going to be
zip,
functions.
right?
And then I'd have to add another artifact, which would be to do the website add. Yep. Okay, so question here. How do I make it so...
How it picks which one?
Yeah.
Which artifact?
Artifact filter after release. Oh, I think it's for all of them. I think.
Oh.
So it'd be like, define the trigger that starts after this triage. So I think it's like when... How does this work? So if I enable it here, check. I enable this here. It's gonna... I don't know how it actually links these together.
Yeah, I would have to dig through some of mine. I have.
But here we could say deploy website. Okay. And then Azure subscription, this one. And then we could put it on Windows, doesn't really matter. Now we don't have a app service, so we need to create an app service then?
Yes.
Okay. So...
And this is that thing where you're kind of like meeting in the middle, right? Because you're working back from Azure and you're working forward from Azure DevOps. And some of it's stuff where it's like, you can click through on Azure DevOps for a ways, and then it's like, okay, now you need a next thing, and you actually have to toggle it. Yep.
This one does support .NET Core, so I'm just going to create this web app.
Yeah, and the renaming, like I get it, that makes more sense than like putting apps or Azure App Service or whatever in your face, but it's a little confusing to, if you've been doing app service for a while, it's like, do I want a web app or?
Oh, check this out. This is .NET Core 2.2.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to put it in.
Which, by the way, that's going to be fun when we update it to 3, because I think we're getting pretty close to where we could do that.
Yeah, so if you want to deploy a .NET Core 3 website, how do you even do that today?
Yeah, so you can't. One way I mean, they have different things you can do. There's always a self-contained deployment where it's and it's in the docs. I always look at the docs.
Oh,
That kind of changes.
yeah. I had to do that recently. I had a problem debugging something locally in .NET Core Preview 8 for the .NET website, and I changed that to true for the self-contained, and then it worked fine. Kind of weird.
Cool. Yep.
I'm going to do dev test, and I'm going to do free. I'm not going to pay for it. Come on now.
Right.
All right, so .NET Core 2.2, Windows, WestUS 2, Windows Plan, free tier, create that puppy. And I called it .NET Live.NET Website Dev, what I called.
Cool.
And that's in the same resource group, so you should see it. Deployment's underway. So,
Fetch. Yep.
So once it's done, it should show up in this list. I can't see it because it's in the dark themes. Okay, so it's done. That was quick. I like that everything's so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Live.NET website dev.
Oh my goodness.
Now, what we can do.
And it's going to fail when it first goes up because it won't have access to we have to go in and do the settings so it can, so the function has the keys and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I assume that this would just. Now what we could do is you can do like a pre-deployment approvals.
Mm-hmm.
Pull request. No, we want. So you could do. So here we could say James or Jon Galloway need to approve this. Any one user needs. And then to deploy the website. Now, additionally, what we could do is we can also do that for the function. We could also say, don't even deploy the function until I'm ready too. So pre-deployment, we can do Jon
and then eventually you could set this up so you make it so it's based on passing tests, right? So we don't have to manually go in.
Yeah, and do it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's create a release then, and let's just see if it works. Okay. Now the other question is, inside of our website, did we actually enable real data? We have functions, YouTube service, so that's good. Okay. So let's see. Release 1 has been made. Okay, so I got to approve this. So let's deploy the function. Actually, you could approve it, I think.
Oh, yeah. Let me give that a shot. Okay, so I have so many tabs open. Yeah, okay. So I go to the pipeline. I go to I'm trying to find actually where this is. This is in
releases.
Releases.
Yep.
And then release 1.
Oop.
And then we made big improvements. That's good news. Approve.
Yeah.
I approve of this function.
Sure, I'm curious if it's set up with Signal R. Oop, yeah, it is. Look at that. Cute.
That is wonderful.
Okay, so now this all should work, in which
case it'll fail, right? Because it doesn't have access to the.
Well, the deployment should be successful, but if we look at our Azure function, we need to put in the
keys. And for
some reason I just have this template, but I don't think we actually filled in the template correctly. I think we created it, but I don't think we actually...
So that's a thing, right? Where you need to actually. Oh, well, I mean, there's the get ignored user secrets, right? That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the local settings JSON inside of your.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of. Are you thinking of something else?
Yeah, because the Azure function should be the only one we need to change now. And also the function show URL needs to change too. And
Yep. Okay, so I am on my screen, which you don't need to hide, which is nice. I'm going into the function, either app settings or configuration. Right, I can go into the function configuration and I can make those, I can set those.
You can set those.
Okay.
So we did get a failure, and that is because we have two zip files. We have one for the function and one for the so if I look at a release drop here, we have a functions and a website build. So I think all we need to do here is do functions, working directory. There's two zips inside these drops. So
you have to select
I want to do function. Let's do this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to say functions drop then slash dot zip, because that'll always be the same. Okay, and then if I save that, and then I'm going to go into deploy website, and then the same thing here. This is not going to know which one it is. So we'll do this. Zip. Put two in there. So that's cool. So both artifacts get pulled in. So it's like when both of those are successful on a build of master based on the same XYZ, it knows to put those two artifacts together and then link them together, which is kind of nice, right? Because we could have done them all in one, but we're like, hey, let's do it in two.
So while you've been doing this, I've gone into the function and I've made all my app settings. And actually the UI for that in the web is pretty nice if you want to show that. Okay. So if you go to the function app,
okay,
and then go to the
configuration.
Okay. And on the configuration, you'll see I've added some new configuration or application settings, and just don't click on show value. Wait, did it not? Oh, I didn't save them.
Okay.
Must save. Updating web app settings.
Now, will this page update? Probably not.
I don't think so. All right. Refresh and 8. I'm a colleague. Would you recommend this to me?
Yes. Oh, okay. So you got YouTube app name, YouTube key, YouTube playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And there was also one other. There was default thumbnail.
Oh, yes. So. And was that for the function? For the function.
It was for the function. I'm not sure why we did it in the function.
I think because it is returning that data as something.
Okay.
I think. So, but you also need to update the website because the website also needs to have the new function back. I think we've simplified it so it really only needs the function get show URL.
Okay.
But I don't think we have it yet until we publish this puppy.
Oh, right.
So it also deployed successfully, so that's good. So let me go into our function then. Let me see here. I think we have it.
Actually, it does have a URL. See over in the is there? Yeah. See if you look over to the right there, URL live function blah blah blah. I mean, it says it's up and running when I click on it. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, over on the right. No, okay. So click back on the function itself, the lightning bolt.
Okay.
Yep. And then over on the right side of your screen, underneath the delete button. So there's down there, click on that. I think that's the URL of our function, correct?
Yeah, that would be the URL of our function.
So as far as what we need to change in our app, I think that's all we need to give it, right? I'm not sure. Let me take a look at the settings for the web.
Does it deployed successfully? Do I believe it? I don't see it there. I don't see the function.
So we actually have in our app settings, we have more information than we need. We have some duplicate settings now that I think we could trim down.
Yeah, I bet.
We have, so I guess I should, I'm not sure how many of these I want to add. I guess we can go later and clean them up.
Yeah, we could probably see what is in there. Like, where are we using it, right? So are we using...
Because we don't need the YouTube key anymore.
I don't even know if we need the playlist ID or... I think we may. So if we were to look at config slash... Question is, do we use that anywhere? So we use function show URL. I don't think we use anything else, though. I think it's the only thing we use.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think so. Like, playlist ID, do we use that anywhere?
I'm going to do a search.
Oh, we do. In the function.
We do.
In the function.
Just in the function.
Yeah, just in the function.
So this entire
YouTube
app
thing.
settings. YouTube goes away. And default thumbnail. I'm not sure if default thumbnail is used.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, search through the project.
I don't know where my function...
Wait, you don't know where your... Oh, you're searching for your...
Yeah. It says it deployed it. So?
I'm on a YouTube show. Okay. Take enough? Yes. We have no food, so we're going to go get some. All right, have fun. I'm back. Did you find your functions yet?
No, they're not here.
Oh,
it says your app is currently in read-only mode because you have source code control integration enabled. That seems correct.
Yeah. So if you have source control integration, then it doesn't allow you to hook up conflicting source control.
Yeah, but it's like we built it, right? So where'd it go?
Oh, yeah. So actually for that function, it should not have source control integration because it's not pulling from... It's not pulling from source control. Your function's not pulling from source control. It's pulling from Azure DevOps. We may need to Google this up.
Okay. Function app edit mode, read only. Correct.
Yeah, but where is your source set?
Well, I thought that I could just deploy it, right? So if I was to look at my pipeline here for releases, I'm pretty sure that I look at my release, then if I look at my where does my artifact? Like, let's see what got pulled down. So if I look at my pipelines, functions, this one, where is my download logs? No, I want my artifacts. Oh, one artifact. This is a new UI, so I don't know where anything's at. So inside the zip, 4 megs, open that puppy up. And Janice Q is saying my Azure theme is very light, which is...
I know.
What are you going to do? All right, this is downloading very slow. And I'm going to look at my Hanselman app too, because I have a release pipeline for the function. I'm just going to make sure I don't do anything different. So one task, which is deploy Azure Function app. Different. That is good. Work. Okay. Let's open up this download. Ragdoll.
This is, I get the whole zip thing, like it makes sense to package it up, but it also seems a little hokey.
Like, magically deploy the zip file.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other question is, did I not zip something correctly? This looks correct. We have a host.json, live app functions, blah, blah, blah. Let me download my Hanselman function and see if it's the same structure.
Oh, right.
That just might be a best practice. If I go here and I download this one artifact, download this puppy, it has the same name. And about 4 megs, so that's good. 1001. I'm curious if maybe I've seen something before where I remember setting this up on the live stream before, where it like maybe has like a weird, it's not pointing at the right directory. Like it publishes the zip, extracts it, but it's like not in the right place.
I've found that exact problem. It's like getting your pathing set up.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like frustrating because it's hard to diagnose like what exactly is it looking for, and then you have to dig through the logs, and it's like looking for this file, found this file, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so inside of here there's the zip. So that's what it gets. And then
there's a zip and a zip.
There's a zip in it, but that's correct because I downloaded the wrong zip this time. But yeah,
oh, got it.
This is correct. So 1001 is my Hanselman one. Okay, so it looks exactly the same. Besides that, there's a local settings.json, obviously. Okay. I wonder if it needs the local settings.json.
I don't believe it does because we're making, I mean, now you could set it up in Azure DevOps to manage that, but I've already got the local settings in.
Because I'm curious if it needs to know like that the values here are correct, right? Oh no, because this would be use something else. This is different. Correct, okay. I think it looks correct then. I'm very confused why.
Was there a lot? What was the error?
No, it's all good. But definitely deploy. I can look at the logs. These two. Get the logs. Approved. Run on agent. This is the push, right? So this says updating app service application settings. Data website run from package 1. Website run from zip blank. Package deployment using zip deploy initiated. Successful web package to app service. Successful updated did it.
So maybe it did. Maybe it's up. And then the URL, so if you browse to that and then browse to API get shows.
No. Oh, what is is it update shows?
Oh yeah, it needs to call update shows first, which we should we should set that to automatically. No. Let me look at the URL here.
Yeah, it should be get shows and update shows.
And we should be able to debug this too, right?
Well, the thing is they should show up here like this.
Right, they should show up in the functions list. Now I'm catching up with what you're saying.
Yeah, like they're not showing up here. So here it's even showing that this was successful, right? Showing Azure DevOps, James Montemagno, from here, production slot, deployed successfully to production.
Mm-hmm. I see. So it is deployed, but it's not finding the functions. It's not exposing the functions.
Yeah, it's not exposing them.
And in the Azure portal, does it show more as far as what is there like a logs or an output there?
Properties?
There's also the magic.
Because it should show. Here's my xamarin.forms one, right? So here's like it should show
all that stuff.
Should show, and then this is reloading all the functions, and then it should show them all here.
Yeah, look at all that. Okay. And you went through. So one other thing that you can do while you're in there, if you go to the functions and you go to the, what was it, the tools, the apps, the like app settings stuff that you were on before, where you went to logs and stuff.
In here?
No. Yes, platform features, and you can click on like the advanced tools, Kudu. On the left, development tools, down near the bottom.
Yeah.
Have you messed with Kudu much?
No.
This is pretty neat. This is a secret little like hidden thing. So there's a file explorer in here. There's all kinds of stuff. So like in that, yeah, well, that's not super pretty. There's also an explorer version of this. So like, let me see if you go to environment, I think, up to the left. There's a thing in there where you can like, I don't know. Sometimes this is helpful. So if you Splunk around a bit, it'll show there is a thing in there where you can see like the actual deployed files. I don't know if this helps though. Host keys. I'm trying to see. So I'm looking on my end over here.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Function list. None.
I wonder if there's a, let me see, Azure DevOps Functions.
I feel like it's running. I feel like maybe the only thing that's really different between the two of ours is that local settings template.
Mm-hmm.
But if I look at mine out of xamarin.forms, I don't think that I have anything specific in it. So if I go into functions, local host settings, it's just like the same thing. So I think those values already exist on the server, so it probably doesn't need.
So I found something here. Somebody, according to build logs, it looks like there's no task. So we do have a build project. All right, I found something where somebody had a similar issue.
So I want to see if there's a pipeline. So if I look at this pipeline from I had on Hanselman, that function on Windows, service name, done. Zip file, functions on Windows. Literally it.
Oh, okay. So this actually is saying, I found a Stack Overflow thing where they were using an archive step and a builds and a app service, so it was doing that zip and a zip. Did you already fix that on your side?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Let me look here. Which, by the way, it is 3:30.
I do have another meet. I think we're close, though. That's my problem.
Here, I'm sending over in Skype. That was this thing someone else ran into with the zip and a zip. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, I am curious. Skype you sent?
Oh, maybe I sent it to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm curious if go here, drop. I could specify this very specific one, but that seems correct.
Let me look at our pipeline. So deploy, archive, release.
Build pipeline. Let's see. Edit. I have added an archive step.
So we don't. Do we have an archive step in our build?
We do.
Because if we have a archive step, we're already zipping, and then the zip deploy also zips.
Oh yeah, let me see what I did in my Hanselman one. Hanselman builds. Yeah, because maybe I tweaked. I think I swear I ran into the same exact thing. I feel like that's the fun part about, you know, I mean, it's fun to basically like do all this, and you're like, oh, I'm so close. What
No, you do have. Okay, so your archive.
Oh, these look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. And then publish. What is your publish? Just drops it, no location. So.
They're exactly the same. Intro. Archive zip, archive zip. They're both being built on a hosted Windows 2019 with 2019 machine.
Yeah.
Huh.
We may need to troubleshoot this and leave it as a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I don't know. Double check the advanced.
This is one area where it's nice maybe to view YAML and diff the YAML. You know?
So you can do it right here. View YAML. Which is actually kind of funny. So you can go to your pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to your agent, and then you can say views YAML. And then same thing here on your agent, you can say view YAML. So here you could actually diff them side by side. I mean, they're pretty much exactly the same. Run the function, configuration release, archive files, publish, drop, right? I mean, they're...
Include root folder false. Yeah, that's on both.
Root folder false. So, I'm not sure what the issue is.
And did you compare in Azure as well, the Azure setup for your Hanselman forms?
Great question. So...
that one too, you can view your...
like, did I do something different inside of my Hanselman forms one is the question. I think we thought this was going to be easy. Remember when it was all
I
easy?
know, we're like, oh, slam dunk.
Didn't have functions, and it was so easy. Just website, API, go, go, go.
See?
Okay. So this is different.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look at our... if we look here, let me go into my resources, live.net, function settings. So this is very different because this has stuff here. It says this app is in read mode because you are running from a package file. To make changes, update the content and website run from package app setting. And this one doesn't seem to have anything. So I sort of feel as if like it didn't get it.
Should we do like redeploy?
Yeah, it's like we could. So if we compare these side by side, if they look extremely similar, like get shows, update shows, deps, host. Yeah, they're like exactly the same. We can redeploy it. Let's look here.
I found what I was looking for, by the way, earlier in Kudu. If this doesn't work, I have some more stuff we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us. I think you can just do redeploy. Deploy again. Prove it. For it.
Yeah, from digging around in here in the Kudu, there's like not. It does seem like it didn't
deploy anything.
Didn't deploy anything. There's no files.
Deployment center. If I go into deployment center, has it definitely linked? Edit. Here. It knows about the pipeline. Funnily enough. All right, so if I go into releases.
GenSQ, I don't know if this was much earlier, but he said about function v1 and v2, make sure they're the same.
If I refresh this, boom, now we have yet another release here. Yet I have do I have function? Oh, there it is. John,
wait,
they're there.
What's the?
I don't know.
When
in doubt, redeploy.
Just redeploy it a bunch of times.
Okay, so
all right,
the function,
so now
the URL actually has a big long, you're gonna have to. It has a whole API key on it, right? So.
Right. So that's So the reason for the API key is it locks it, so it's not a public API, right?
Yeah. So, but you can get it now. You can run it from here. So I just did update. So if everything is working, then we should see an output of it.
Okay. So I need to go in and get the actual the function URL, and then I'll update that because I had forgotten that. I just put the public URL one. Okay. So.
And the nice thing here,
these are the most frustrating things where you're like, what could it be? What did I do wrong? Check 90,000 things, and it's like nothing,
And I will tell you, get shows is returning all the data.
So this is good. So now, where did you get that live? I'm going into the.
Yeah, you want to go into so your function should show up. You should be able to click on get shows and then get function URL.
Okay. Where is get function? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm flipping between 90 browsers. So, get function URL.
Let me update.
Copy.
Tell them that I'm running 20 minutes late. So close.
Okay. So this is nice too, that we're able to make that configuration setting in a few places. Like basically our function shows URL, I can update that also.
Yep. Okay, so then what I should be able to do once you have that in there is I can go back into our pipeline which is here, and then I can say approve, and then
I've updated the web app.
cool. So
Yep.
I'm gonna deploy the web app now. Now here's my thinking. I'm curious if the Azure function was set up, but it like hadn't finalized some disk stuff or something like that, or maybe there was some timing thing. Who really knows? It's a wonder.
Neutrinos.
All right, so we've queued the website.
Yep.
Jon Galloway.
So for those that have stayed around, they get to see the payoff here. Hopefully.
Yes. Because I should be able to go back into here. And they saw on my screen
Let me, by the way, while we're here, I want to show. Whoa, that's beautiful. Okay, so if you go back into the function settings, app settings for the function, I want to show this kudu thing because it's a cool troubleshooting deal. Okay, so you go to the application settings down in the lower. No, that's not it.
So I'm in the kudu.
Yeah, in the kudu. Then you click in the. It's hard for me to see. Is it tools? It's the one that has command and PowerShell. Okay, debug console.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter which you pick.
Okay. Oh, it's right there.
And then now you have this whole file explorer thing, and you can dig around and you can find your files. You have your logs and stuff. So I've had weird cases where like, I don't know, some files locked or something I thought would be deployed wasn't, and you can dig around and you can do tons of stuff here, including you have the whole console there. So this is like huge, like access, and you can also have it, you can have it do stuff like write out stuff locally and, use that later or whatever. So
nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Release 2, website is deployed. Let's go into our website. So worried. Click on it. Yeah, it's on the free tier. Look at it live. It's live.
So exciting.
Now, Jon Galloway. Now we
Yes.
we can see that we're missing today's community stand-up. And that is because somebody, Jon Galloway, did not add that ASP.NET stand-up into...
I did. I added it to the playlist. Oh, is it not in the... It's in the ASP.NET.
You always add it to only the ASP.NET one. Always.
Oh, gosh. This is now... I'm called out. Now this will help me remember.
I know. This is a classic Jon Galloway move. Because the live.asp.net website looks at that one.
Yeah.
So here's what's cool about this is that once you go add that over there, I can then run this puppy.
Okay, standing by my channel, my shows. Come on.
There we go.
Okay, makes it a little hard to find it. It's okay. Oh my goodness, come on. Clicking through. Okay, so add to the .NET Community Stand-Ups. It has been added. This is the dialog where there's no save. Done, added.
Okay, so now...
So now you have to redo the update shows function.
Did it. If I refresh, bam, there it is.
That is wonderful.
Now, better yet, I'm going to add a new show. So now what we'll do is next week, we'll create a logic app that listens to the RSS feed of it. And then we don't even need to put it on a trigger or anything. It'll just automatically update.
Yep.
Now, what I'm going to do is on Thursday, is the Windows desktop stand-up. Now, let me see if there's a top. Email Dimitri Daniel to opening OA. Stand up. Added you to the agenda for
just locked it in.
They locked it in with all the details. What does that mean?
It's on lock.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so gosh darn it, fix these. Maybe I'm CC'd. I have different folders. Maybe it's an invite. Oh, okay, he did. Oh, okay. He put it in the invite.
This is good news, I guess.
App Center and desktop apps, XAML tools, WinUI. Longer. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, reuse these settings. I'm gonna set up a new. People can't see this because I'm inside of YouTube portal.
Yeah.
Heals up. Dude, it's gonna be August 22nd, 2019. App Center for desktop apps, XAML tools, and WinUI. And from here, that'll be on Thursday at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Save settings. Middle's 2. I wonder if I don't need to add .NET community.
Yeah.
Shows. So.
Genescu says we need a dark mode for the live.net. I might make one just to mess with you.
Well, so I think that probably for .NET it needs to. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so we go to ingestion. This is good. Okay, so now if I go into my function, I hit run again. We'll automate this next week.
Mm-hmm.
I come back here. Nope. Oh, hold on.
It's still running.
I go to the. Oh, I think I need to add it to the playlist.
Oh, right.
Go to the view page here. The only thing we need to make sure it's in the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Then, select playlist, .NET Community Stand Up, done, save, run again, pretty quick, refresh. There we go.
This is wonderful.
Wow.
This is great because we don't have to do any of this weird back-end stuff anymore, going into admin sites and stuff. I've had on the live.asp.net site, like we'll go live and I'll forget to like change the thing on the page and people are like, what's going on? So,
and I added this new hype. I stole that from Gooseman, so let's do hype on there. We'll do
It should also read that I crushed it from 2013.
My name is
Can I do that?
Hanselman. You can find me on the
Yeah.
Look
internet.
at that. This is wonderful.
My name is Scott
And I'm
Hanselman.
gonna
You
do
can
it.
Oh, there's, I think you may hear construction noises in the background.
I don't know when I use a Docker file.
They're
or when I
finishing
use a compose
installing
file.
AC here.
nice. We did it.
All right. Well, it is slightly longer than we thought, but to be fair, it was some random, we don't even know what, some magic thing just failed for no good reason. So, okay.
There you go. Yeah, everything is great. Everything's working. Yeah. And I like hype because then it does the little emotes everywhere. I'm going to change it up too, so it's all over the place. It's cool. Yeah, look at that. And then boom, Windows Desktop, upcoming, new. This is going to force us to do it because we're going to, once we have a website, then we'll really. Oh, and then we got Twitch down here. We got this here. Man, I can't. Now I'm really excited to test this website on Thursday.
Yeah. So I have a question here. There's an open pull request, fix unit tests, and push health check into different project.
Oh, yeah. We should probably do that.
That was not merged yet?
No, I didn't do that yet because we were doing the.
How did the build work?
Oh, because it did the pull request and built the web site from the PR.
Okay.
And we actually just deployed the PR version of it.
So we probably want to change our build to not run off PRs, because what if some random person sends a PR to do something wacky?
Well, I created a manual release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so now watch this. I'm going to merge this PR. So watch this. I'm going to merge this PR. I'm going to delete this branch. Get out of here. So now what will happen in the real world, what will happen here is now we only want to push things from master. So that will just do pull request validation, and we'll never deploy a PR, obviously.
Cool. Okay.
So we'll only do this. So these things will build, and then in release, this is only going to pick up, if I look at the Azure function, it will only do continuous deployment off of master, not pull request triggers. No pull request trigger.
Okay.
Because that would be like, it would be cool to do a PR. Like if you were doing internally, you could do a PR one where it like always pushes it to dev.
To a dev, yeah.
Or creates a brand new one every time. That's what I would do. Like create a new dev branch basically. But yeah, we did it.
Wonderful. Have you? We should update our project board.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's do it. Wiki.
That's always fun to drop
projects.
some.
Drop it down. Done. Shipped it. And then what we could do here is we could link this here. Wow. So here I'm just gonna, I'll do a PR.
Yeah.
I'll say building this live. See the website in action at boom. Propose a file change. Submit a PR. That's obviously going to build, and then we can go through our process.
Our builds, yeah.
So now what you can do too is, one other thing is, this will kick off PRs, but you should also check in your option that it builds the website and the function.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I need to go back and change that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure here, when we do the edit, this is doing pull request validation. Yep. Then here, we should see both of them.
What? So it doesn't show that as an option to, it only shows me website.
Oh.
Not sure why.
Like it didn't set it up for. Oh. Show it.
Status checks found in the last week for this repository. Website.
Yeah, it's not showing the other one right now, and I don't know why. For another day, I say.
Yes, I agree.
All right, we did it. Thanks everyone for sticking around. And
yes,
when in doubt, just redeploy. Jon. Wow, I can't. I mean, I gotta tweet it. I think, right?
I think so.
I think so. We should drop this link in the chat too. So, bitch.
We need to hide that privacy policy business at the top, and now people are going to be like nitpicking,
Yeah.
Your margins are off or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they can send a pull request.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Just deployed our first test. Our first test of the new at .NET community stand-up website via with you got to do ASP.NET Core and hashtag Azure Functions from at Azure. How many buzzwords can I put in? Azure DevOps. Yeah. Ooh. Comma with at Jon Galloway. Check it out. Bam. Cool. That's so cool. I can't believe it's live.
This is wonderful.
Totally happening.
I can't wait for somebody to say this color is slightly off or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
So cool.
Yay, that was fun.
That was good. All right, everyone. I will talk to everyone. I'll be back on Thursday, not Friday. I have some very important things to do this weekend. So I won't be around on Friday, but I will be streaming on Thursday, building some more xamarin.forms shenanigans. Jon, thank you so much for being amazing.
Great fun.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
All right.